Shall I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember we were discussing about how to create an arc beam, or maybe curved beam. I have put two RC columns there, and then I'm going to put a section mark just to see them in the 3D. Okay. If I'm intended to draw a RC beam, which is arch one, so we'll take anyone, the concrete beam, and there is nothing special, just to take an arc, whichever the arc may be, start and center arc, start and radius, to just take it and make it the way you want to make. And whether you want to make it to align from the top, center, bottom, that you already know. That is not something need to be explained. However, in this regard, I have some more thing to be explained that can be of great use for you guys. For example, I have a structure like this. I have created something for your reference. Maybe you have a structure like this. What if I make it a section box to crop everything else? Yeah, let's crop this like that. And also turn off the scope box. Where's the scope box? Yes, this is the scope box. Okay, so okay, we have a structure like this. We have a few columns and few beams. Then in the middle, there are two columns which are extended and want to have a curved beam, an arc beam in the elevation. So what is the best way of doing this? I'll go back. This is another project, I think. Oh, this is the same one. Yes, this is the same one. I'll go to the section view. Just take the steel beam, whichever I want. Maybe,
Make it arc line, then select
sorry.
arc line also. Create one path.
Okay. Uh, we'll show you that also.
Arc, yeah.
We'll show you that also. For example, if we have an arc, this arc, we want to pick that line, okay? For example, let's just take this one and then select, and then, okay, let's make this a beam. This will be a universal beam. But the problem, there are certain things which we can discuss about this. This is the line. If I'm changing the line, so it will not change. Again, we'll have to align this. So this is something else, but I'll show you that also. There are some more interesting things as well. Let's take this steel beam there and then make sure the 3D snapping is on. I'm going to take this arc, start and end radius arc, from the top of this beam, and then you make it like this. You can drag it back, have it like this, okay? First step. So this is, you can deal with the notching or coping, whatever you have with you, you can deal it. And on the top, this has already been set. On the top, if you use the split command on the top, so it will split the beam to have it on either side of the column, which you see automatically aligns with the faces of the column, right? So even if I'm not splitting this, I'm going to copy these beams across the frame. Like I'm just going to copy this beam in all the grids. These are the beams and I've copied them. Now these primary beams have been done. Now I just want to have the secondary beams and that secondary beams to follow this curvature. That is the most important thing. If I'm going on level 1 and maybe level 2 where beams are visible, okay. So first of all, the first thing which should came across in our mind that we can just simply take the beams any beam which we want to have, maybe not this one, the other one, the smaller one, having the 3D snapping. If I start from here, but it will not allow us to pick the perpendicular point, and there can be some deviation as well. Also, if we place the beams manually, so how to ensure that they are following the curvature? So there are so many pros and cons. So it is not actually recommended to use the secondary beams as manual. Rather, you can take the beam system and the automatic beam system. When you click on this, so it allows you to select the beam system. Can you see that it is highlighting the beam based on the fixed distance we are providing? For example, if I'm changing the fixed distance to 1 meter, so it will change the distance. Can you see the dashed line?
Yeah.
And if I'm selecting this, so it is showing in this direction. If I'm selecting this, let's suppose I'm selecting this side. Okay. So it has placed the beams, but if you see, these are not aligned to the curvature. Okay. So what we can do, we can go again for the beam system, taking the beam boundary automatic, but you have to make sure the 3D is checked. If 3D is checked, you can simply select this beam direction. And then if you see, it has actually followed the curvature we have. This is about rotating, how to rotate them. You can rotate them, cross-section rotation, maybe 90 degrees.
If we change the curvature of the main beam, it will follow the beam system also. Follow beam system will follow that curvature.
Yeah. The entire beam system is following the curvature. This is one way by automatic curvature. If I'm deleting this,
Kashif's question is if in this automatic beam system now, if we change the arch,
okay,
Radius.
so will it follow it?
Yeah,
That's what your question was, right?
Yeah, that depends. Actually, I think it shouldn't follow because that is dependent on beam or the both ends. So even if you are changing it on one side, so it should not allow to change.
Both side. Both side.
No, it will change both
Both
sides.
side.
So that we'll have to see. I don't think it is allowing. But actually it is following. On the first beam, it is actually followed the first one, and on the other side, it is following the other one. Let us just increase the view range and then see. Now we have two beams visible in the sections, and then see if we change this and can't keep elements joined, so it is actually following the way it is actually done. And this is actually unjoined with this. So that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, when one side will work, the other side will work.
You see the other side will also be changeable because if you increase it, this will also change.
Okay, the boundary of the beam system now, if we clicking, we need entire boundary, which means that the first edge of the purlin is first one, then the next boundary is last one. What we will do? We will make a sketch, or how we will do that?
Yeah, that I'm going to show you. For the sketch system also, I will show you. If you take the sketch one, better you go into the 3D. That will be more efficient. Or let us first do it this way. Just go to the beam system and then sketch the beam system. Let's just sketch the beam system from this point till this point. All right?
Offset. Little offset also just.
Offset. Okay, let's have some offset value. Maybe 1 meter.
600 or 1 meter.
Okay.
And I need to horizontal.
Sorry?
No, I need the offsetting horizontal line.
Horizontal lines align correctly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. But in this way, I believe it is not actually going to follow the curvature.
Not following the arcs, no.
Actually, let me change the direction. This is the direction now. Either way, oh, that's okay.
No, direction is okay before.
The direction
No,
was
no,
okay.
no. Yes, yes.
But it is actually not going to follow the curvature by this way. But however, there is one way doing this. If I am doing it by, what do you call this way? Let me just undo. Okay.
By automatic.
Not by automatic, by picking the line, not by drawing the line. Okay. If I am going to create a beam system, and then by picking the line, and if I pick this line maybe with some offset value, this should not have any offset value. You don't need any offset value here, and here also you don't want to have any offset value, but here you want to have some offset, maybe 600, right, for this one on both sides.
That is inside.
Now you can fillet them. Oh, that is inside. Boundary line and then pick, having 600 offset.
Offset is zero, no, zero. That is the issue. Offset. Or
Something wrong.
Okay.
Let me align this way, and then picking the boundary line, putting the offset 600. That should be fine.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to finish. Okay. I'll do it once again. Going to take the beam system and then sketching the beam system, picking the lines.
That the plane or anything?
Yes, maybe the work plane, but the work plane, okay. Let us have it on level 2. That's okay. Level 2 is okay. But now you can just pick the lines, or what is this? This pick supports only. Okay, we have to pick supports, not the lines. This support, and with an offset value on the right side and the left side. It is only allowing just not giving any offset. Pick support.
it is taking only horizontal things. No?
No, vertical also.
No.
Because not allowed.
Plain things. No, taking the curve thing.
Okay, let me have 0 offset there first, and then that we will see.
What is the symbol of the slope symbol?
Showing just like as a roof.
ये जो ट्रायंगल है इनका क्या मतलब है इसका?
रूप में स्लोप होता है ना वही नहीं नाउ भी सर अभी भी
ये ट्रायंगल पे क्लिक करके देखिए क्या?
नहीं, this is actually taking the supports. Let me try.
नहीं वो स्लोप है, वो स्लोप की डायरेक्शन है.
Slope है.
Yeah, but it is actually representing that it is taking the support. Again, let me check, and then select the upper one, and select the upper one. Then if I finish, it is actually following the beam system. Even if I select the supports and then having the offset as it is required to have the offset, now I'm going to select this support, this one, the top one. I don't know where it is putting the line. 600 offset, it is not showing. If I'm putting 0 offset, then it is okay.
After that, we can adjust.
You can drag it now after finishing.
Yeah, but that should also give that freedom. But yeah, if you create the beam system, the thing which you need to mention, remember, if you create the beam system across the structure, in that case, you have to go with the pick supports, and then you have to make sure the support which you are picking, it should be the correct one. If you are picking the arced one, so it will follow the arced one. If you are selecting the flat one, it is going to follow the flat path. This is the only key. And however, if you are yeah, please.
This support moving, then this
Yeah,
also move.
Actually, it should move. If I'm changing the arc, for example, this
No, not arc, that column.
okay, this column.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh,
That is not our support.
No.
Support is only the beams.
Yeah,
No?
actually,
beams only.
Whatever
actually,
we pick the support, whatever we select the support, that is the
exactly.
Okay.
like a positive.
Yes,
No, just like a positive or
you are right,
Okay.
because for opting the support, we have only opted these beams and this beam, so it will be related to these only.
Just move the one beam, then just we can see that one. Moved outside.
Unjoining, it is actually unjoining because the other support is not extending.
due to the column connection.
So it is.
That is column connection.
Yeah, it is actually going beyond, but it is stopped somewhere and it is extending. Again, this support is not extending. So there can be something absurd. But there are certain hit and trial things that it can be done, it cannot be done. There are certain things, but this is how we can create the overall beam system, the secondary beams, to follow the curvature. The other thing which is very interesting, I just want to show you. If you have any question, I can show you here. Otherwise, I have something very interesting to show you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, should I show you? Let me first make a complex roof which can be of curvature, having any curvature in the architecture. For example, like this. I'm going to create a mask. In the mask, okay. Let me first do one more thing. I have got one reference plane. This is reference plane 001. I'm copying it again like this, and this is reference plane 002, as you see. Okay. I'm going to sketch a massing. Okay, putting a section here. Going to this view, there's nothing being shown. Going to massing roof. Okay, I'm going to draw a spline and picking the plane which is 001. Okay, so I'm going to draw a random shape, maybe this kind of roof, and then again draw a shape on the work plane 002. So this time it is opposite to that. Okay, and now go back to the 3D view. We can see there are two reference planes, two splines. I'm just selecting both of them and making them as a solid. Okay, and now this is done. This can be of any roof, and I'm going to make this a roof. For example, this is a roof, and let's make it a roof like this by face. Create a roof. So if I make it,
Visibility.
yeah,
Visibility of the roof.
yeah, roof was turned off. Now it is turned on. Now you see this is a roof. Okay, I'm going to the level 1. This is a roof. It's visible like this. Going to the side view. That's much better. And then let's have a section to see, like we have a roof structure like this. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So if we are supposed to put our structure across this roof, so for example, if I'm turning off the mask is already been turned off, so maybe turn it off from here. It's been turned it off. If I take the structure system, maybe the structure framing, and then we can pick this line to have the beam aligned with this face, correct? We have this beam aligned with this face. Let me put it to the hidden line. So my beam can be aligned with respect to the shape we have. But the other thing is that the other aspect of this type of framing system is that if I turn the massing on and if I select the mass, for example, if there are some changes in the shape of the roof, if I select the mass and then maybe this is been changed slightly, you see the beam is not aligned. Even if the roof, if the roof is updated to the face, roof is gone there to match with the mass face, but the beam is not gone. Can you see it? Beam is still there. So in that case, we have got another option, which I'll show you. Let me just go back there. Let me first delete this beam, go back to the section. Let's be here. Let's make it here. I would rather say, and this is the reference plane 002. Okay. So as an alternative, what we can do, we will take a truss instead of a beam and then pick the reference plane 2. We'll draw a truss as a whole assembly. I think this is not the one. This is not the correct one. I'll use a different truss, which is having the top member as parallel to the bottom member, and show you that why it is being used as that's an alternative. That can be a hack. Structural framing. No, truss. This one, let's take this one only. Oh, flat truss. Okay, now let's delete this and then again take the truss. This one only. It has been drawn. Now I'm going to edit the family of this truss. In the truss family, if you see, this is the top member, this is the bottom member, and these are the intermediate members. So I will select all of them except the top one and then delete. only having the top member in the family. Just save it as with a different name so that the original family is not affected. I will save it in my folder. 2025 sessions, November 30. Press has been. So I have deleted everything except the top member and then load it. Once I load this, in this section, we'll go and check truss as, where is that one? Truss as beam. So now it is not having anything except the top one. And now if we select the truss, there is an option to attach top or bottom. So we can either attach with this roof. So detach truss type, actually it is going beyond the limit. Maybe I'll have to reduce it from both sides like this, and then we can attach it with the roof, maybe in the 3D. Actually, it is outside. So let us go to the site plan. It is outside the truss actually, roof. Let us put it little inside and then go to the 3D view. Select the truss and then attach with the roof. Yes, it is attached. It is attached. The bottom member you can select and unpin and then delete. So it is actually attached as a truss. If you tab and select, it will show you this as a structural framing. If you select like this, it will show you that this is a truss. So the best part of this type of stuff is that if you even change the roof profile, if I select the mass and then make some changes in the mass profile, maybe this one, if I'm changing a little bit, editing the profile, if I'm changing like this and this, maybe some changes there. The mass has been changed and now roof can be updated to match the mass, and in the bottom you can see the framing has also been aligned to the roof face. So if you have some complex and critical shape from the architecture model as a roof member, so you can go ahead with this one. You can use the truss, removing all the members from the truss, having all the top one as a beam, and then you can.
Beam itself not attaching, we cannot attach.
No, beam cannot attach. Structural framing cannot attach. The truss can attach. However, there is a downside of this trick also. In the schedule, it will give you the quantity of the truss, not as the beam. So that you have to manage somehow.
Or otherwise, we can split the roof, no, or a mass, split face. Then we can add the grid, then place our framing, no. That's
Yeah.
also working, no.
That can be done, but the plus point of this trick is only if you update the roof surface. So it will actually following that updated roof surface. That's the plus point of this trick.
One question. We are adding the in roof in the as a curtain wall. We cannot manipulate the curtain wall profile.
Curtain wall profile, actually, if it is
Will
in the
also following the roof now.
yeah, actually it is following the roof. Whatever the category, it is actually following, because attach and detach option is only available for the floors and the roofs. So roof it can follow. If you have something else, then I think it may not follow. You can just go and try, but this is actually a trick. I just found it when I was exploring different ways of having the beams in curvature. So this one I found more functional, especially in terms of the complex parametric shapes which are coming from the architecture tools.
But we have already deleted all other members, no. Then still the bottom code is showing.
Bottom chord is not showing because it is a truss as a category. If you select this, it is showing as a truss. But if you can tab and select, it will show you that this is a beam. So it is actually a truss. It has not lost its property as a truss. Still, you can see this is a truss. But as a truss, as a member of the truss, you have this beam. So this is how you are going to deal this. You cannot explode a truss the way we explode in AutoCAD, but it will remain a truss. So now it is a matter of selection whether you want to select it by the tab key. So it will give you a framing, and you can put the framing tag also. So that's what you can do. So this is a truck. Maybe that can be useful for you, or if you don't want to use that, you can simply use the beam and then select the face. But the only thing is that if there is something changing in the design, you have to do it manually. You have to sketch your beam again. By this way, it is actually following the curvature, whatever it is there in the background. Any question on in this regard?